Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. I don't have a movie review this week. I have not gone yet again, but as I said last episode, I did renew my A-list, and I'm actually going to the movies this afternoon, so there might be a double movie review next episode. But what I did want to talk about was a very exciting delivery that I got this past week, which is my new T-shirt, which is the Mega Records logo T-shirt from Mega Records, and on the back it says, can you read it? Don't trust the music. It's from the cult classic Josie and the Pussycats. Mondo Tees did a bunch of limited edition T-shirts. This is the one I wanted with the Mega Records logo on it. And also the Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack on vinyl, which is awesome. It is on purple vinyl, which is so cool. But even better than that is inside there is an entire book full of an oral history of the show, great liner notes, and the album is the Josie and the Pussycat song because the du jour singles are on this double A-side 7-inch single, which is super awesome. I love the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, you should see the movie because it's awesome. It was a little ahead of its time. Also, it was a problem because it was marketed to kids, but then the whole plot of the movie is that kids are just brainwashed by music, and so it was kind of a bad message to be sending to the kids, and they didn't really like it, so go figure. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I have my Mega Records T-shirt. So I can wear my Mega Records T-shirt while listening to my du jour songs. As for games, I remember, you might recall in the last episode how I talked about starting the Doctor Who Edge of Time PSVR game, and how I was mostly past the halfway point probably, and would probably finish that by this episode. It did not happen. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't touch it this past week. I got completely obsessed with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Because somehow 70 hours into the game and the plot really kicked into high gear. Also, I found it very amusing that 70 hours, I swear it was 70 to 75 hours in, and I found my first cairn, which is a little mini game where there's rocks and you have to stack them into a pillar. And I've heard about this, and I heard that the first bunch are super easy, and then it gets crazy hard, and you'll tear your hair out trying to stack these rocks in the right way to make them stand up, because the physics are really touchy. And I'm just I haven't seen a single one. And it took over 70 hours of playing this game before I finally stumbled across one. And I'm just what the hey? So, yeah. Although that was one of the easy ones, thank goodness, so it was fine. But also, 70 hours in the game, the plot really kicks into high gear because you finally, there's twists and turns, and then your brother's kidnapped, and there was this whole long quest arc to try to rescue your brother, and then of course once you get Sigurd back, it gets even more complicated. But what I really found hilarious was the game basically, while you're getting ready for the next stage of trying to rescue Sigurd, Dag comes up to you, and he's just been a dick the whole time, spoiler alert, and he's all just you're taking your sweet time rescuing your brother and our Jarl, what's wrong with you? You should be focused on that. And I'm just dude, it's not my fault that Ubisoft puts in all these side quests and world events and minigames and all that stuff. I'm very easily distracted. What do you want? Although, to be fair, if you did just do the main quest line, I don't think it would have changed anything. That's the dialogue they wrote. So, they would have said it anyway. But even just doing the main quest line, there's a lot of stages before you can even get to the point where you can rescue him anyway. So, there's a bunch of quests you have to do first. So, the dialogue would still be appropriate. I just thought it was freaking hilarious that Dag's why aren't you wasting your time with other things? And even after you rescued Sigurd, spoiler alert, he's like, you took your time, basically. And I'm just like, sorry, dude, there's a lot to do in this game. Like, I am almost 80 hours into this game, and I feel like the plot has only just kicked in, and I think I'm over the halfway point. I don't know. But there's a lot to do, you know? There's the minigames, there's the collecting treasure, there's the world event, which I do want to mention a couple of world events. I had mentioned the nudists being my favorite, and I still think it probably is my favorite just in general. I thought that one was really hilarious. But there was one where I came across a little girl trapped in a cave, and after you rescue her, she's all like, oh, I will never go chasing after little white rabbits again. And then it comes up and says you've completed the world event, and it was like Alicia in Wonderlandshire, and I'm just like, I see what you did there. But then yesterday I did one that was hilarious. There's this band that wants to play music in like the ruins of this church or whatever, and a bunch of people are hanging around, and there's a priest who calls himself the Bishop of the Ruins, and he won't let them play because it's the devil's music, and I'm just like, okay, this is ridiculous, whatever. And you end up having to fight the priest. And, I mean, he's just a priest calling himself Bishop of the Ruins, so a couple of punches and he was done. And he ran away. And then the band leader's like, that was awesome, thank you so much, I'm gonna write a song about this, let's go. And then he starts singing,
Smack my bishop! Smack my bishop!
Completion comes up, and it turns out it's called The Prodigy. And I was like, that is a reference. And it's funny because I like told my husband about it, and I showed him the clip, and he was like, I don't get it. And I was like, don't you remember that band and that song? No. So he did not. So the reference was lost on him, but I got it immediately and thought it was hilarious. That's just me. So that's really all I have to talk about this week. Just loving Assassin's Creed Valhalla so much. So come back next episode, and I'll try to go finish that Doctor Who game, and I will have at least one movie review, if not two, depending. So pray for me not to get COVID in the movie theater. I just refuse to let the ignorant terrorists win, people who aren't getting vaccinated and who aren't acting right. I won't let them keep me prisoner in my own home anymore. It's been way too long, and I'm just going to wear my mask, and fingers crossed that I stay safe. So, wish me luck. See you next time. Bye!